Please subscribe to Facetv Africa and turn the notification on. Facetv Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ subscribe hete.
Face TV was Swoby.
Good day. This is another exciting broadcast as we look at the state of the nation. Kill corruption, not Nigerians. Pastor Tunde Bakare tells President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Mr. President, given the complexity of the Nigerian economy, we are not thoroughly convinced that your palliatives will be sufficient to cushion the effect of your policies on the Nigerian citizen. What we do know, however, is that on May 29, 2023, you swore an oath to be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May I remind you, Mr. President, that Chapter 2, Section 14, Subsection 2, Subsection B of the Constitution states that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. Therefore, in compliance with your oath of office and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our demand on you, the current, and it's just current, the current occupant of the office of the president, our demand on you is the same demand that we made 11 years ago. Mr. President, kill corruption and not Nigerians.
Kill corruption, not Nigerians. The senior pastor of the Citadel Global Community Church, formerly known as the Lateran Church, Pastor Tunde Bakare, on Sunday, lamented that the subsidy removal is having adverse effects on Nigerians, just as he urged President Bola Tinubu to tackle corruption and not Nigerians. On the fuel subsidy removal and its harsh economic impact on Nigerians, Bakare said, Mr. President, kill corruption and not Nigerians. Oh, no economy can thrive on impunity. Speaking on the theme, vice, virtue, and time, the three things that shall never stand still. Yes. The cleric also faulted the proposed military intervention in the Niger Republic by ECOWAS. He said, local support for Nigeria by Nigerians is still at an all-time low. It is therefore counterproductive to engage in a warfare. While we condemn coup d'etat in West Africa, let's have a deep conversation or introspection on the part African leaders need to play with all this crisis. Like we said the other time, that the reasons why we are having coup d'etat in West Africa is because of the failure of African leaders. Corruption has taken over governance and democracy. He has advised the president to kill corruption and not Nigerians. That is the salient point. These are the crusaders, the subsidy crusaders during Jonathan regime. They came out and they spoke against subsidy. Now, in a different form, Pastor Tunde Bakare speak against the subsidy removal by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. One will wonder what happened all these years, or what happened during the regime of President Muhammad Buhari, and now it is the Emilio Kon regime, which is he spoke about Emilio Kon. If you listen to his teaching this Sunday, he spoke about the Emilio Kon kind of politics. He spoke and said that there's a Yoruba saying, meaning it is my turn, became very popular when it was used by President Bola Tinubu during his 2023 pre-election campaign. So during the State of the Nation broadcast, he said, I want that the politics of entitlement, the Emilio Kon type of politics would breed an imperium presidency, one that would slide towards dictatorship and would be intolerant of dissent. This is big grammar. What he's saying is that the Emilio Kon type of politics would breed dictatorship, unaccountable kind of presidency that the person in charge would not see himself as accountable to the people because he believes that it is his turn and whatever he does with his turn concerns nobody. So let's move over to the discussion of today. Kill corruption, not Nigerians. Nigerians have suffered a lot from the current subsidy regime by the current president. The regime of subsidy removal is biting hard on Nigerians. When you look at the price of goods and services, you know that Nigerians are one of the patient, adaptive human beings on earth. The increase in petrol price, increase in the exchange rate, increase in goods and services, increase in house rent, increase in other taxes by the government, everything is increasing, yet Nigerians are still adapting to the situation. So the cleric comes to the aid of Nigerians and is asking the president that, oh, president, please kill corruption and not Nigerians. Now, what's he saying, or is he saying that President Tinubu is not really fighting corruption but Nigerians? That's a question we need to ask. If the president really is fighting corruption, or is his focus to fight corruption, or is it that his policies bring more hardship to Nigerians? I would want to make a case for this. When you look at the cabinet of the president, you agree with me that I don't think he is willing to fight corruption. Now, subsidy removal he said people were benefiting from the subsidy. Nigerians have been calling, why not mention their names? Why not mention the names of these people that have been benefiting from the subsidy, that have been taking our monies? What does it take to mention their names? That's where accountability starts from. That's where transparency starts from. Serap took the president to court on the 400 billion that is said to have been saved from the subsidy, 400 billion that was shared to governors. Subsidy monies, accountability is what Nigerians are needing from any government. Now, Serap took the president to court, asking him to provide the details of how the subsidy was being shared. Till today, we have not gotten any reaction, any response, any communication from the presidency. So how do people want to trust your government? If transparency is far away from one of the things you want to give to Nigerians, if accountability is very far from one of the things you want to give as dividends to Nigerians, you're not responsible for your actions, how do you think that you get the support of the people? That is why Pastor Tunde Bakare also spoke about the Emilokon kind of politics. Not good for Nigerian society, not good for governance, not good for democracy. Emilokon politics. Now, if it's my turn, let's say it was the turn of Buhari, and you see how he messed up the whole thing. He even stayed up to 8 years. Now, it is the turn of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then he will stay up to 8 years, because when you look at this thing about turn, your turn, you spend 8 years, so it's my turn, I must spend 8 years. Regardless of whether there's an election, or whether there is democracy, or whether there is rule of law, or whether there is an INEC that will oversee election, or whether there is integrity, whether whoever comes and contests as president, it doesn't matter. It is my turn. I must spend 8 years. This is one of the things that we are complaining about the country. So the General Overseer of the Citadel Global Community Church, Pastor Tunde Bakare, has warned against Emilokon kind of politics, and he has also spoken against corruption. He said that the president should kill corruption and not Nigerians. That is one thing I would like to ask the president to do: kill corruption and not Nigerians. Buhari deceived Nigerians with the mantra of integrity, piloted by the current president. At the end of the day, we had so much to contend with when we had to do with corruption. When we talk about corruption, corruption was the order of the day under a regime of a supposed Mr. Integrity. People were saying that Buhari was a man of integrity, but at the end of the day, at the end of 8 years, we saw that he never had any sort of integrity. Instead, a recent report about he and the central bank governor mortgaging the country's foreign reserve to borrow monies that you cannot verify or account for. So kill corruption and not Nigerians is an example of what Tunde Bakare is telling the president. Please If there is a mismanagement of funds, let there be transparency. That's how you kill corruption. Let people that get involved in such corruption or money laundering, embezzlement, let them face the wrath of the law and let them pay dearly for it, even if it is with their lives. Then that's why you know that Nigerians will support you in whatever you do. But when there's no transparency, when you cannot account for monies that are being spent and you expect Nigerians to just fold their hands or just follow you and accept everything you promise them, hook, line, and sinker, it is impossible. So the most important thing now is that you kill corruption and not Nigerians. It's a brave one from very, very brave from the pastor of the Lutheran Church, Pastor Tunde Bakare. We know he's an activist. He has been outspoken. Although some people don't really believe him to be a sincere activist. Looking at some of the actions in the past, how some they select their activism, how they select how they respond to issues, how they have preferential treatment for different kinds of person. During the Buhari regime, nobody had to protest for any reason whatsoever. But Jonathan, you see how the champion the cause of subsidy removal. Don't remove subsidy. They were against subsidy removal, and now it seems everybody has lost his voice. Now it is important for us to know that if we don't kill corruption, you either kill Nigerians. Nigerians need to be very agile and very, very watchful, and also try as much as you can. Whatever you find yourself and you notice any form of corruption, speak against it. It is going to help the society live to see the good days or to see good things as dividends of democracy.
Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, subscribe,
Face TV was Swoby.